draft affidavits to be obtained before prosecution plan can be discussed. One of the two prosecutors must be present when this consultation takes place. You will also note that I'm trying to now involve the DD that is allocated on paper, because I'm working on my own under the I'm going to do the supervision of Advocate Johnson. So by saying that, I'm saying one of us, either the DD or myself, need to be present when this consultation takes place.
Okay, continue.
All information, documentation, and witness names, etc., to be contained in the affidavit draft from F. Adams.
So you want the evidence?
Correct. He's saying that he has proof. He's saying that someone slotted things under his door. He's opening dockets. But he only makes vague allegations and then pops up a name here and there, and then you don't know what's happening exactly. So I wanted a full and detailed draft report or affidavit from him. And he must advise us, okay, this is a witness that I know will come forward, or this is a possible witness, and this is the evidence that I have.
Can I just ask you before you continue, why didn't you at this stage say to Advocate Johnson that section 2813 that you had asked me to apply for, to do the application for on the 5th? I've now looked at the docket. I was uneasy before then, I'm even more so now, because in fact, the evidence that he says is contained in these dockets, it's not there. I don't see anything. So I don't think we should continue with the 2813.
That was one of the reasons I did the report. And the WhatsApps will show that I request that I send it to her before I send it to the rest of the team. My intention was to discuss it with her and to discuss my concerns on that day. However, the preceding messages that will be shown to the commission will then illustrate why that conversation never took place. It did, however, take place later on.
Which is that? Which does?
Sorry?
Say it did take place later?
The conversation between myself and Advocate Johnson did take place in January about my concerns.
Okay. And then just before I think you should finalize or finish off with the instructions, and then we'll go back to what you say in this report and then what was in the 2813.
Prosecutors to be informed before any interview consultation to take place with any person relating to this matter. May I explain why I put this in? There was so much of speed and so much of need to get going where the prosecutor is not even ready to say, let's set down a plan of action. How are we going to ring fence? What? And Mr. Perumal was on this whole mission of, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to contact this person, we need 28s for this, we need 28s for that, we need the files for the vetting. But I'm saying there's no substance. I don't have anything to even draft a prosecution plan. So my instruction is very clear. Nothing is to be done without my knowledge.
Would a prosecution plan proceed ordinarily? Would a prosecution plan precede the kind of activity that you say Mr. Perumal was involved with, demanding or requiring this and that, statements being taken, that would be led by the prosecution plan?
Correct.
Okay, and number 4?
Number 4 is no section 28 is to be issued or served without the prosecutor perusing same and then submitting to the head of office for signature.
What do you mean by section 28?
Section 28, 6 or 7, for information or for persons to be consulted with or interviewed, or summons to be interviewed, or for any documentation books or anything listed in section 28, 6 and 7 to be done.
And why did you put that in?
Because of the way Mr. Perumal was insisting this. It was brief conversations that he would phone me and say, hey, we need to do this, or hey, we need to start moving with this matter. I was also going on leave. So, and I'm going to repeat it, and I know it's going to sound like I'm repeating it ad nauseum, but my gut was not feeling comfortable compared to the 27 I had done in 2023 versus this.
And at that stage, there's no evidence, so...
There's nothing. There's no evidence. What do you 28 if there's no evidence? What evidence are you? Are you going on a fishing expedition?
Okay, and then you say, please note that there are 5 CAS numbers allocated. Once draft is obtained, the team can discuss the way forward. This is the draft affidavit. Now, can I just understand why you were asking for a draft affidavit because you have the Section 27, what is the status of the Section 27 in the investigation? In the 2813 investigation, what do you call the Section 27 referral affidavit?
My understanding is that the 27 is supposed to be your A1.
It's supposed to be your A1?
A1.
Okay.
It's a complaint received. But that's my understanding. It's not implemented within IDAC. My understanding is if you are filing an affidavit with allegations, that is your A1, that is your complainant statement.
Can it be supplemented?
Yes, it should be supplemented if needs be. But it cannot be a standalone affidavit and from there investigations flow in a different direction. Or not different direction, but investigations flow where we're taking now new A1s. But I was told that this was told to me in 2023. I was shut down with this. When I was dealing with that specific 27 in 2023, I held the same view, that the referral affidavit needs to be the A1 in the dockets. I was told that's incorrect and it's not going to happen that way.
So once the investigation has been authorized under 2813, was the process then that you have to then obtain a new affidavit?
No, with the 2023, I'm just going to refer to it as the 2023 referral. That complainant had come with a letter and a statement, an uncommissioned statement. When the matter progressed, before myself and the other prosecutor got involved, the legal representative of that referral submitted a very extensive formal affidavit, and that is in the docket. So we received two different, how do I explain it? So it would have been like this. We had the first where she initially, it was just a statement that she signed, and then we had the affidavit referral in 2023.
Okay, but that I suppose is different because in this instance with Mr. Adams, you have an affidavit. The section requires that it be either an affidavit or it be a declaration. So in this instance, you do have the affidavit from him, but in your docket report, you're saying we must get a draft affidavit from him.
But a draft supplementary.
Oh, okay. So what you're intending is that it must be a separate. Okay.
Because also, you must also remember now, I'm in possession of original dockets, where A1s are already existing. So you can never have an A1 and then take another A1 and then take a supplementary. It's an A1 and a supplementary, or an A2 and a supplementary.
Okay. And the purpose of this affidavit that you were saying now needs to, because you say if Adams to be consulted, full and detailed draft affidavit to be obtained, you put a draft in bold. And what is the purpose of that? So you're not wanting a complete document from him. You, as the prosecutorial team with the investigators, want to sit with him and take a statement from him. And that is now part of the preparatory investigation,
Correct.
which is the 2813.
Correct.
Is that how the process works and is supposed to work?
Which process?
The process.
No, it's not supposed to be like that, but it's generally in IDAC space at the moment that people or prosecutors get draft affidavits. When most prosecutors prefer the draft only if the investigating officer is suggesting that this person is a 204. Then it would be a draft. But we generally, because we're prosecution-led, if the investigator says he needs to consult with you and he goes to you, I will constantly be updated about what is in the draft. They'll either send me WhatsApp pictures, they'll email me the draft, I'll read, I'll say, okay, but this witness is indicating that Mr. X has in his possession emails. Has it been canvassed? Or it would be, the deponent is saying, in 2024, I was in Limpopo and, whereas we have proof that he was in fact in Dubai. And I would then ask, has this been canvassed? Why is he saying this?
Okay. So you are, when this affidavit is being prepared for Mr. Adams, you're trying to gather evidence.
Correct.
To see whether there is a case, a prima facie case, but you also in that process preparing an affidavit for him as the prosecutors.
It's supposed to be that way, yes,
Okay.
because of the prosecution-led guidelines.
And assume that if you meet with him and he gives you all the documents and you're now convinced that, well, there is a case here, you then assist him in preparing that statement for him as the prosecutor.
I wouldn't assist, I would be present.
Okay.
The reason I'd be present is that I would be able to assist the investigating officers and the witness with regards to the structuring of the affidavit.
Which is what happens later on in January with
The prosecutor is
supplementaries.
not allowed to become a witness in their own matter.
Yes, that is what I was trying to understand. So when you give the instruction to the investigators, you're removing yourself as being potentially a witness, but you're still consulting with the witness when that statement is being prepared or being taken.
Yeah.
It's just that it's the investigator that's doing the drafting and that. Okay.
Can I put it to you in a different way, in an easier way? Because of Section 28, prosecutors are allowed to consult with witnesses, right? My previous DD, who has retired, deputy director, he always said to me, because he comes from DSO, never consult with the witness where you don't have a statement, at least a draft, because you're walking in blind and you are going to be a witness. So if you're going to consult with the witness, ensure that you have a draft in front of you. You know what you're going to question and how you're going to assist the investigators. So that is what I was trying to say.
Okay. So as part of that process, you say that the Adams is consulted, and then one of the two prosecutors to be present when that consultation takes place. So you want the draft statement before you plan your before you prepare your prosecutorial plan.
If there's ever going to be a plan, because my thinking was when we go for these supplementaries, because now we've got dockets, and we're instructed to investigate these dockets. When we go for the supplementaries, obviously, he's now saying, and he's publicly said it, I've got documents, they were slotted under my door. Obviously, in those documents, it might actually substantiate, and to an extent, some of them did. I'm not going to lie. Some of the documents that I saw on the 19th of December did substantiate.
Substantiate what was contained in the A1s of the
A1s,
dockets,
yes.
not the Section 27 affidavit that we've seen. Or
No, not the one that you've seen, no.
Okay.
Because, am I allowed to speak about the forklift?
The forklift.
Yes, no, yeah.
One of the issues that I picked up here of the one that was flighted is there's no mention of a forklift at all. But Mr. Rapeso will confirm that we received, we just had to trace it, Langlachter docket for the forklift, and it was in the 27 referral. And the supplementaries that we took was one of them for the forklift. And the first three witnesses that were identified were from the forklift documents.